Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's real late on Hot 97, and a guy I've been playing for a minute here on the show. He has a new record out called Wish You Well. Amir Obe is in the building. Amir, what up, man?
What's good, Pete?
How are you?
Chilling, man.
You are originally from the D.
Yes, sir.
What was, your original rap name was like Freshie Does It or something?
Yeah, way back. Yeah.
And you've been making noise now for a couple of years. You're signed to Def Jam now, correct?
Yep.
Do you have an OVO association?
Oh, that's like my family. They like good friends of mine. So.
But you didn't end up signing with them?
No.
Why was that the case? Take us through that a little bit. Take us a little bit about through your emergence over the last few years. Your first tape that popped off, and then sort of what ensued, working with Drake, etc.
My first real project that started making noise was called The Trickling. I was independent at the time. I put that out as like a cohesive, like all original project. And from that, Drake's people, his manager Oliver, reached out and just said Drake's really feeling it, and if there's any other music he could hear. And then I took like that time period, I was just building with them a lot, on the production side, and just building a relationship. Like they've always had like a mutual respect with me, and it's never been like a business thing. It was kind of just like good friends. We traveled a little bit. I like they let me come out with them to Detroit, and I got the shout out on stage for his concert. And since then, we've just been building, keeping like the friendship alive. And my latest project, Another Clock's Work, that's what was my first like debut release with Def Jam.
And is that what do you consider that? Is that a mixtape? Is that what is it?
It's like a 7-track EP.
And how much like did just having the OVO association do? How much did it help? You were obviously already making good music that was getting respect.
Yeah.
But how much did it do as far as like pushing people to check you out more, etc.?
I mean, Drake's one of the biggest names in music, so the fact that he just put his like hand on it, or like let his people know about his fan base, know about me, and just that collaboration that we did, and my like relationship with Party Next Door also did a lot. We went on the road, we made some songs together, so the awareness from the OVO side definitely helped me grow as an artist.
What do you consider yourself as an artist? I mean, you're sort of like a rapper, singer, songwriter. Is that where you?
Yeah, you could say that.
Like what vocally do you enjoy doing the most?
I like being melodic. I like the melodic route. I think I just can express myself more through melodies than just rapping.
So were you sort of, you've been putting in work for like what, 7-8 years, something like that?
Yeah, at least 7-8 years.
So were you? A lot of people who are hip hop heads like to complain about the sort of emergence of melodic music.
Yeah.
Was it sort of the opposite for you? Were you sort of relieved or into the fact that that's become a more acceptable route as opposed to just like straight ahead rhyming?
Yeah, I feel like it's just like I said, there's more expression in melodies for me as an artist. I don't like the ceiling of just being a lyrical rapper. Like I've done that before, but once I grew into the melodies, I had more fun with it, and I always like taking those leaps from project to project where I feel like this is way different than my previous project. So it's more fun for me as an artist.
How do you feel about my assessment that you appear physically to be the grimier version of my friend Quincy? What do you guys think about that? Grimy Quincy? Don't see it? You think I'm being racist because they're both light-skinned?
Yeah.
Either way, shout out to Quincy. Let's play the record, Wish You Well, Amir.
Yeah.
We'll play that from Amir Obe. Where can people find your music? We'll play that and come back and talk a little bit more.
You can find my music on SoundCloud, Apple, and Apple Music and Spotify. All the streaming services have my project.
Shout out to Def Jam. Are you on the road right now? What are you doing? You just doing promo, or are you out here doing
right
shows?
Now I'm just doing promo for the latest project, None of the Clock's Work. So it's just like a press run for now.
So no shows at this point, but I know you've already done sold out shows in New York.
Yeah, we did Highline. I sold out 2 in Brooklyn at Baby's Alright.
Tell a little bit about the grind, because I think it's cool these days, honestly. And truth be told, someone who's been at it for 7-8 years, that's like going at it for a long time in this era. You're like a grizzled veteran compared to like these days. You find out that someone starts scorching, right? And you're like, but they're 18. How long have they been? You know what I'm saying? So take us a little bit through that. What was your path? How did it start going from like? Because I meet kids and they're like, I'm desperate to do this. I have a SoundCloud page. I look at their SoundCloud page, and they have, let's say, 10 songs up, and they all have, a few hundred plays.
Yeah.
How do you go? Do you remember? How do you go from that to being like you have thousands and thousands of plays and people are talking about you? How did you take those steps?
I mean, I think it's to like create the longevity, you have to pick up fans along the way. So even when I started off with no fans or nothing, I was still putting music out, and you deal with the response from the beginning stages, and you take that and you apply it to your growth. So over time, you pick up fans, you build relationships, and as long as you're making music that's like true to your craft and that's comparable with what's out, or you trying to advance like the sound period or the culture, along the way you'll pick up a whole bunch of fans. So
did you have a specific moment where like something connected though, maybe one specific song that you were like, oh, okay, this is like a thing? Because that's where I find that it gets difficult for people.
Yeah, I mean, I've never plateaued. I feel like it's always been a growth, but most recently I had a song called Before the Vomit that really did a lot for me, streaming wise.
And you felt it. You could feel a little bit of the...
Yeah, definitely. It was like a whole new ball game, kind of.
It's called Before the Vomit.
Before the Vomit.
You know what I hate? Vomit.
Exactly.
I'm like one of the world's biggest vomit haters. I gotta tell you, it affects the whole way I live life.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful song though.
Well, what is it? What is it about? Before the Vomit?
It's basically like at first it was called Drunken Freestyle, but I changed the name right before I put it out, and it's kind of just about being in like a toxic relationship sort of. So it's like text me when I'm lit just before the vomit, catch me when I'm coming down, and solve my problems. So it's kind of just like that moment when there's no real clarity. You kind of just smack and you're trying to deal with your issues with this relationship.
Are you in a relationship right now? The ladies want to know.
Yeah, with music.
Wow. One of those, huh?
Good answer, right?
Yep. She just means he's just out here smashing. That's what that means. Someone says they're in a relationship with music. That means they're only serious relationships with music.
Yep.
But everyone else is just getting the dills in it. I've seen this 1,000 times, by the way. What's your? Do you produce as well, or is it just songwriting, singing, etc.?
I'm always in the production phase. Like I'll drop my input, but like
you're not a hands-on machine person.
No, like I might mess around with drums or like the bass line, but keys and all that, I don't really play it. I experiment with it, but I'm hands-on with my producer. His name's Niles, and he does like all my music, and it's all original. We don't sample or nothing. So
have you been ghostwriting for anyone out here?
Nah.
All for yourself right now.
All for myself.
Who's out there that you would really love to collaborate with?
Collaborate with? I want to collaborate with like Phil Collins or Sting or like those guys.
Wow, just really old.
Just influences, yeah.
80s white men. Soulful white men, no doubt though.
Yeah.
Soulful.
Yeah.
Phil Collins, let me tell you something right now. Easy Lover by Phil Collins.
It's one of the best.
And Philip Bailey is one of the best ever.
Yeah.
It's very hard for me to fathom being a lead singer from drums.
True.
I just can't. That's something I can't. First of all, I can't really grasp playing drums.
What's their group called? Genesis?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were dope.
Like how
Peter
you
Gabriel too, he's dope.
Yeah, just being able to lead from that. It's funny, like I've been on. I'm very into Blue Eyed Soul sort of stuff from the early '80s, and it has been interesting to watch how like that's sort of been a slow build over the last decade or so to becoming really influential, like sort of on the wave that people are on right now.
Yeah.
So what's next? You dropped the EP right now. When's the LP?
We're working on it now. We just got into album mode, so
at some point soon. So this is just a little teaser. I just bought it, by the way,
dope.
right now. Ike just bought it. Bought the clean version. Thank you, Def Jam, for putting the clean one on iTunes, though. I appreciate that. I will gladly spend the $6. I just want my Def Jam jacket now. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that publicly, but I paid $6. I want a Def Jam jacket. Amir Obe, the project is out right now. I just found it on iTunes, so I know you can do the absolute same. I really enjoy you because you're on like kind of the new wave, but there's a certain soul and a certain level of like clarity and just overall musicianship that I think stands out. So I'm excited to have you on the scene, and I appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you.
It's called None of the Clocks Work. Amir Obe. Thanks, bro.
Thank you, bro.